speaking of having you all together, I want to speak about a few gigs because I've read online that you've had a few sold out Manchester gigs and this sort of stuff. So a bit of a classic is best and worst gigs or just some of the better experiences you've had.
I'll let Jake go for the best because I think the best is the one that we had with Jake. But
the best
worst.
for me was go on.
Oh, but worst. I remember it was around that time where you said like we went like we got ahead of ourselves. Rob was quite keen for getting smashed before gigs,
Nice.
like to the point where like you're thinking you can't like get any worse. Like I mean I had a few drinks like, but we had a main support slot at Academy 3 in Manchester, which was at the time was like thought this is quite it was like sold out show as well. So it was like 400 or 500 people in there. We're thinking right, I think we've only been about 6 months, and we was like right, this is like bigger than us. And Rob shit himself and just got hammered to the point where like I had to go and set up his equipment for him to come on.
Oh no.
And then he just looked down the whole time. And it was probably everyone, the only feedback we got from the gig was the music was good. And that was it. They said like your singer was horrible.
Rob's fucked it.
There was, to be fair, there was a long period of time where we just couldn't mention it. Like even at rehearsals, you couldn't mention it. But he warmed up to it. He had a laugh about it now.
Yeah.
But there was a silver lining to come out of it. Like at gigs now, we all stay on a good level and then get pissed after. So it was nice to have that.
Learn the lesson at some point.
Yeah. And it was like, I remember it was only me sticking by Rob when it happened. Everyone was a bit like, you're a fucking dick. And I was like, it's a learning curve that we was always going to learn. And I'm glad we've learned it now.
Definitely.
So early on.
Yeah. So, but Rob still regrets it to this day.
There's nothing worse than being stood there and thinking, oh, fuck this, I need to sober up a bit. But you just can't. Like, you've fucked it. And you just sort of stood there like, shit, I can't pull myself together. Like, fuck.
I felt bad on him. Like he literally come off stage, didn't speak to anyone, went right home, and then he messaged this big massive paragraph in the chat the day after and was like, "Lads, I'm so sorry," but it was one of them, as I said, a learning curve, and it was one that needed to happen. And I can probably assure you that it'll probably be in every single band. You'll get one gig like this where everyone, yeah,
definitely.
He was just a shame he was a singer.
Yeah, that's true.
If he was a guitarist, it'd have been sound. No one's asked. But when the singer fucks it, then
he's right there at centre.
Yeah.
So. Oh, funny. Well, do you want to lift a tone and do best?
I'll go for that one because, if the best is the one that I was there, for me it was like. It was the first gig I'd played in Manchester. So I'd done a gig before and it was in like this little music festival in Bollington. And everyone was sat down and it was all a little bit like quite a posh area. It's like Cheshire, everyone's prim and proper. So it was like, not all gigs are like this. And we got back to Manchester, did our first gig there and like just absolutely went for it. And it was just like, everyone was up for it. Everyone was having like a boogie. Like, we got like a massive encore chant that had sold out and it was like our own gig, and that was just like, I can get used to this now. This is really, really, really good. And I was so scared in like the first gig. I was like stood there, like dead timid and like, just make sure I get every note right and don't mess up. Whereas now, if you ever see us play, I'm around everywhere. I'm not so.
Yeah,
good fun. Let yourself go.
Also. Probably one of our first ever festivals we did was one of the good one. It was at somewhere in Sunderland.
Sunnyside.
I can't remember. Sunnyside, that's the one. How do you even remember?
I wasn't even there. I
know. Yeah, that was a mad one. It was when the World Cup was on.
Oh, that's sick.
So it was the day we played. Was it Sweden? I think when Trippier scored the free kick.
Oh, yeah.
Croatia.
Yeah. It was that day. And
what a fucking day.
That's
one of my highlights anyway. I just think in general.
Yeah, but we played in the morning.
Right.
And then the football was on in the afternoon. And then Lightning Seeds were headlining. honestly, it was magical. And then I remember we turned up and we went to the backstage, piled all our shit in this dressing room, turned around, like the riders like massive, and you think, fucking hell, there's all this for us, this little band. And then next minute, like this guy come in, was like, who are you lot? And I was like, well, who are you? And it was the Lightning Seeds.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so then that was just a mad day.
Yeah.
From when we like came off the thing, I think it was half an hour after we came off the stage, the game was on.
Yeah.
And we was just pissed all day then. I remember, see if my missus will hear it, but I remember like speaking to this woman at the bar and like just being like, she was like, oh, you had a band on before? And I was like, turn the charm on a little bit. Yeah, it turned out to be.
Of course I was. Flip your hair back.
Yeah.
Sorry, was that too far? Are we?
Yeah, it turned out to be the festival organizer's wife. So then she went, oh, come with us, like into VIP. Then I got all my family, friends, and the band all in VIP, and she gave us like 200 quid worth of drink tokens. Like, just have a laugh. Honestly, it was just
oh my God.
That is something that you can definitely get addicted to. That fucking feeling, I can imagine.
And then obviously Lightning Z's headline and do the 3-line shirt.
Oh God.
Oh wow.
So
that is literally incredible.
Yeah, so it was just a magical day. Like, it was just mad. And then I had to get in the back of the van on the way home back to Manchester.
Fuck. That's absolutely wild. I can't believe that's what was going on with you. And we were sat in one of said seedy pubs in Wellingborough, and then went out into town, and you got fucking sparked out in the middle of.
No, that was a different night. That was. Was that Croatia?
Yeah, semi-final. It was that night.
Was that night I got cleaned? Oh, that was a sad night.
Our experience of that day was definitely not as good as yours.
Yeah, that was a weird night because someone had got glassed in the pub that we were in. So we were watching it. We scored that free kick, and someone threw a glass across the room, split some girl's eye open. And she had to get stitches. She got rushed off in an ambulance, and then we all got spangled. Went out, got in a scrap. And then that all kind of finished. So we all went off home. And then someone comes up and cleans me up from behind. I get completely like fucked up from like cleaned up. And then that was our night. I ended up spending from like 2 a.m. till like 7, making sure my heart was still fucking beating.
Yeah. I was to get home and my parents were just leaving for work, and it was like, they were like, what happened? I was like,
it's been a good night.
Yeah.
I'll explain in a few days' time.
Give me a couple of days.
I hate when you get in and you wake up and you look down and you think, right, there's no sick. I'm unchanged. Everything's good. And then like you go downstairs and your parents look at you and you're like, fuck, what have I done?
The amount of times that we've gone.
Oh, my mum and dad have a fucking glass table. Don't know why you'd buy it, just because it's just a glass table. And I got up, I went down all fucking buzzing like, oh yeah. Me kebab that I bought on the way home was fucking smeared all over the table. Don't even know how I managed it. And it was all like stained and everything. Got absolutely battered.